mean? There's been like I still haven't had certain conversations with my parents about things that we all know happen in the world.
Oh yeah, 100.
Do you know what I mean? And there's a part of me that was like, Dad, can we just speak about this?
No.
You're 70 plus, I'm 30 plus.
No.
Help me out. Give me some advice, bro.
No.
Being brown and what it used to be, not every day nursing and accountancy. What? Sometimes fashion or comedy with second-gen Asians living differently. That is right. Hello people, my name's Reuben Christian. I'm a presenter and comic. Well, this sounds like A-Team. Sorry, I'm a presenter and comic from London. I'm also an Asian man that's been brought up around black people while living in a white man's world. My mum's a nurse, my dad's an accountant, and me, I'm confused, man. And you're watching Being Brown, a show where I get to meet other second generation Asians that are doing things a little bit differently. Just so I don't feel so alone. So to start this off, I went down to Camden Market's trendy Southeast Asian chai and coffee house Pam Ban to share a peanut butter blondie with Vithya, a hair and makeup artist from London specialising in Asian bridal work with over 10 years experience serving international clients. I did a bit of research, and this is what I found out about Vithya. Goes like this. She studied at University of Arts London College of Fashion and later advanced her skills at the Pink Orchid Studio in Toronto, Canada. She's worked with MAC Cosmetics, Harvey Nichols, Vijay TV, Deebim TV, as well as many South Indian movie stars. Her work has been published in UK's top Asian bridal magazine Kush, and her interviews and articles are on the likes of Huffington Post Canada. Who does her PR, man? I need to connect. Now, Vithya's YouTube channel has over 130,000 subscribers, and her sari draping video has over 4 million views. 4 million views. That's over 10 times my channel, and I've been going for 10 years. Now, her latest masterclasses make her the first ever Tamil makeup artist to put on such events internationally, including in London, Chennai, Zurich, Kuala Lumpur, with classes lined up in Toronto and Sydney. Put it this way, guys, Vithya is kind of good at hair and makeup, innit? Let's meet her. Come on. Are we officially rolling?
Yeah, just whenever you're ready.
Okay. How was that sync clap quite loud for you?
That was okay.
Because the quality of the clap is determined by how dry my hands are. And she's introduced, well, we start just before we roll, she said my Nivea is really, really empty, which meant what? My hands are really dry.
Crazy dry.
Yeah, I was worrying about being judged like this, you know, because I was like, yeah,
I'm a makeup artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
I'm coming to see
joking.
you, so before we even start, I just want some advice while I'm here on
Okay.
camera. I use Carmex for my lips, is that okay?
It's okay, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
According to the grapevine, i.e. your YouTube videos, you haven't touched your own face for years. Like,
I don't ever touch my face either unless I'm doing makeup, but even when I use makeup, I use a sponge, I use brushes, I try and never touch my own face.
Yeah.
Did you just touch your face?
I did this.
So you didn't? So
No,
you
so when I
pretend
touch,
to touch your
I
face.
do the back of my, so even if I'm sweating, I do the back of my hand. I never do this. Why did you pick up on that? Out of all the things on my video.
Because it intrigued the life out of me. Because you said, you didn't just say, oh, I don't regularly touch my face. You said, I haven't touched my face in years. And I was like, what?
Well, obviously I wash my face.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But like with water, so it wouldn't
All right, so
be
what,
like...
you get the water, you throw it, and you just...
I don't know. It's like, I mean, we grew up just speaking in Tamil, so there's no word of English that gets used in our house. So it's literally like just Tamil.
Right.
And the food and everything. So it's just like, yeah, I think when people come to my house, they think we're living somewhere in Sri Lanka or something.
Oh, really? Yeah, like you open the door,
like
you
really,
go to another
really
total
traditional,
world.
yeah.
So you picked up the language by default because everyone was speaking it?
Yeah, see, I only learned English when I was 14 because I grew up in Germany. So I was born in Sri Lanka, grew up in Germany, and when I came here at the age of 14, the only thing I could say was, hey, what's your name, or what's my name, or whatever, right? So like just the basics that you know they teach you, and just about could say what my age was in English, and that's about it. Sat at the back of the class, didn't understand anything, managed to somehow pass, and then now I can speak, hopefully.
You speak really, really well.
Thank you.
Really fluid, and you've got a nice tone to your voice.
Thanks.
But would you say you speak a lot? I'm not judging or anything, I'm asking because
I do.
I know I
My mum used to say to me, I grew up literally talking to my Barbies, and she would just be so worried about me. But yeah,
So
I like talking.
Yeah, no, I get that as well. I'd say I talk to myself about as much as I talk to other human beings, sometimes even more. And my parents judged me, yeah. They thought I was a little bit mental. I'd say I'm an artist, wouldn't you?
Okay. I'm not sure about me talking to myself,
Okay.
but I did talk to my Barbie. I think that's a little bit different
because
to
the Barbie obviously
speaking.
answers back, innit?
No,
same thing.
but it's a psychological thing. Like you're talking to something. It's like
Yeah.
talking to God or something. It's like you're kind of talking to somebody.
You're talking to some sort of entity.
Something rather than just sitting there and talking to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
No, you're not at all. But you've made me question my life already in like the introduction.
Like
This is
2
great.
minutes.
Here's a question. So with the Barbies, right? I'm making a connection immediately. Did you ever want to beautify them or do their makeup
Oh yeah.
or do their hair?
I used to plait their hair. I used to be interested in that sort of thing since I was a child, really. And at the age of 12, I already started using my sister as a guinea pig. Used to just do things on her.
Please
My
shake my hands for
mum.
that. I've used my brother for everything. I've
I
dashed him
wonder,
in.
what did you do
Yeah,
to him?
I got him to film my stuff for me.
That's awesome.
Every time we would go to a new barber's, because I was worried about my hair getting totally f***ed up, I'd send Aaron in first. Do you know what I mean?
He
I'd
was
just
the
send
guinea
Aaron
pig.
in. Yeah, his
And
hair
you
was
tried
messed
them
up
out.
throughout our whole childhood.
Oh, that's
I used him
bad.
as a guinea pig.
But
I
he
have
loved
no
it, right?
No.
Oh.
No. Even up to now. I think he holds that stuff against me. Or we'd go to a new shop and the trainers would be terrible.
Traumatized the poor child.
What am I supposed to do? It's either him or me, right? It's dog eat dog out
This
here.
is Sri Lankan Tamils, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Maybe that's what it is. All right, so with the Barbies, so is
Yeah.
that where you started to feel at such a young age that you wanted to veer into, I don't know, hair, makeup,
Yeah,
beauty?
I think it wasn't specifically hair and makeup. I think it was just interested in that sort of arts, creative world, anything fashion-y, you know, that sort of thing. So media, I mean, I'm sure if people gave me a mic at the age of 12, I might have gone in that direction. Like, who knows, right?
Oh,
like, but it's
really?
just, I was never the type of person to just sit there and do maths and, I don't know, it wasn't really me.
Yeah,
but
that's the same with me, man. Did you find when you were starting your creative explorations that because you were so inclined to do creative things, there was a bit of a battle with your parents?
Oh,
Your
110%.
first generation.
110%. I think
Is it still a fight?
I think it's better now. I think not better. It's fine. My parents really like respect what I do, and they have a whole lot of appreciation for it. But I think when I first tried to say that, you know, even for a joke, it would just be like, "Are you crazy? Like, you can't be a beautician."
Shut down.
Oh,
straight
shut
away.
down. Because
Yeah.
it wasn't even the fact that they thought you might not earn enough money. It was like a pride thing. For them,
Right.
it's just like, you can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you
My
need to be a
daughter
doctor.
Can't do that,
Yeah,
'cause
you need to
my
be in a
kudos
exactly.
are on the line here.
No, exactly. And that's what it was. And I think because of that, I just thought to myself, you know what, let me just do a degree in science and maths or whatever they want. So I did a degree in biology and psychology, and I thought, you know what, the second I literally graduated, a few months later, I said to my parents, can I do something to do with hair and makeup? And obviously,
So the moment you graduated, I've got the
oh
degree
yeah, a few
now,
months. Like,
I'm off.
I got a graduate job
Yeah.
in a marketing company and was earning really well. And my dad like called the entire family saying that, oh, she got this amazing job. And then there I am saying, so can I go to London College of Fashion?
Yeah, in the background while he's on the phone. Yo, calm down.
Yeah, but I think it's because they could see that I was just not happy in my job, and I was
Right.
quite miserable and depressed, and I wasn't really going out socializing. It was like go work, come home, go to sleep, because I almost felt like this sort of robotic, you know.
Yeah,
and I thought that's
right?
yeah,
Just going to work.
yeah, and I felt like that was my life, and I had to accept it, and that's it. Like, I couldn't do anything else. But then when I tried to speak to my parents about it, like, I think my dad was very understanding, whereas my mom was just like, oh my God, what do I say to my family?
Really?
Like, how do I tell them that you've just dropped out? Like, you're not working there anymore? And yeah, so for my mom, it was the end of the world. But my dad was just like, you know what, try it out. If it doesn't work for you, which they thought it wouldn't work for me, just to go back into a 9-to-5 job and earn the money that they were expecting me to earn, right? But it worked out for me.
It's a shame on them.
I know.
Well done.
But even, I think, I think for years still, even though it was working out for me, it was hard. I obviously had to work part-time and do this makeup thing as a hobby on the side initially, and then I started earning a bit of money from it and stuff. And then I think whenever we went to family functions, you know, the typical, oh, what does your daughter do?
Oh, listen.
You know,
oh
and
my gosh,
it's
I've written
the worst.
sketches about this, man. There's sometimes aunties and uncles come to the house. I'd come into my house, I'd see their shoes, and I'd know them from their shoes, and I'd go upstairs because I don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah, this conversation.
It's the same thing as last time, auntie.
God,
I'm just following my creative dreams.
Yeah.
You just hear all of it. Do you know what I mean? You're wrong.
Oh, no, exactly. I literally stopped going to family functions just because I didn't want to hear it anymore. And it was just like, oh, what are you doing? Like, if I had children, I would never let them do this.
And they would say that, and you'd hear them say that.
Yeah, in front of everyone. And then you're literally sitting there thinking, oh my God, have I literally like just committed a crime? Like what?
It is worse than murder sometimes.
Oh, for them it is. For them it's like the end of the world. So it's just like, it was really hard. And then I think the day that my mum actually thought, you know, actually respected what I did was we went to this shop, and there was a young girl, she was there with her mum shopping, and she saw me and she just came up to me and she was just like, she recognized me, and then she said, oh my God, you did the hair and makeup, whatever. And she wanted to take a picture, so she asked her mum to take a picture of me and her daughter. And the daughter kept, like, she was really nervous, so she was shaking. So I put my arm around her, and then I just said to her, it's okay. And I gave her a hug, and she started crying. And then the mum came, and, you know, it was like this whole thing going on. And my mum standing on the side just the entire time. She was just like this. She was like the whole time, completely shocked. And then when they went in Tamil, she was just like, like literally saying, are they like, have they lost the plot? Like, what is going on?
Have they lost the plot?
Have they lost the plot?
Right.
Yeah.
This is just my daughter.
My mum just didn't understand it, and she was just silent the entire journey home. And then as soon as she got home, she called all her sisters, and she was like, guess what happened today? And my daughter is
defining
famous.
moment. Well done.
Yeah,
that was a defining moment.
It honestly was. It changed so much for my mum. She just actually realised the impact that I've maybe made, you know, in the industry, and that people recognize me. And this family was actually from Norway or something, and they were here for a function or something, and obviously saw me in the shop. So for my mum, it was just like, I can't believe people do this. Like, does this happen to you? And I think that's when she started having a conversation with me about it, and just asked me, okay, what do you do exactly?
Who are you?
Who are you? And then,
it's so good to hear about those defining moments, man. Because those are the moments, because that just eradicates so much stress for you. When our parents get it, it helps. I mean, I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm about a decade and a half in, and my mum still says, oh, he does media, or he does music, or he does comedy. Do you know what I mean?
And there's like no different.
Because I float, so I'm hoping to get there. Although I have been out once, and some kids have recognised me, and then they might quote something I said in my YouTube show. But
like when they meet you?
Yeah, when they see me.
Wow.
But there's certain quotes you don't quote in front of my mum. Do you know what I mean? And it was one of those moments.
Oh.
Yeah. You mentioned depression, and it's quite a powerful word. And I think I've been trying to understand it myself, because I've been on a creative journey and going against the grain, especially as an Asian, a British Asian. There's horrible down points that I endure, and there's a lot of people that can't understand that. And I've asked myself whether or not it is depression. I don't know, but it's a real dip. When you are in those dips, or did you say you kind of endured that during the marketing time?
It was way before. I think at a young age, because I felt quite suppressed for a long time, because obviously I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do.
Creativity and your expression was suppressed.
Literally. And it was just one of those things where my parents wanted me to go in one direction, because I was the oldest granddaughter. And it was just like so many expectations just from me, because they knew all the younger sort of generation, and my cousins would just sort of follow my footsteps. So because of that pressure and, you know, childhood, whatever, because we were kind of like the first generation, because moving to Germany, we didn't have any other family, we didn't have any, we had Tamil people that were the same age, it was the same people that sort of took refuge as well. So it was one of those things where we didn't have anybody else to look up to, or anybody else to tell us it's okay or whatever. So it was just really hard having to learn things that nobody was there to teach you, right? So I actually suffered from depression from the age of 14, but I was never aware of it until I was in my sort of early 20s. So when I finished my degree and obviously went on to work and whatever, I then started to actually go and see somebody, like a therapist and whatever, and I think that's when I understood that actually I'm suffering from depression. And so I think, it was like, understanding it, and you know, it was a really hard time, and I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. Like, I felt like, yeah, we're living in a Western country, and we have like this freedom of being able to do everything, but yet you couldn't, but you were stuck
in a psychological jail to an
absolutely
extent,
right? It was literally like, and for my parents it was always like, oh, we gave you a house, we gave you this, we gave you know, that's a typical thing that they would say, we gave you food, we gave you this, and
we provided the palace that we think you should have.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're sitting there thinking, you know, feeling really guilty, because you're like, okay, I know you've left Sri Lanka, you came here, you've taken on 2-3 jobs a day just to provide for me and, you know, my education and whatever. But then you were like, but I'm not happy and I don't want to do this. Like, you're making me do this, and you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, it was really hard. Yeah. And it was nice because I think me doing what I did in my family opened up the doors for all of my cousins.
1000%.
So a lot of them are doing photography, they're going into different directions, and their parents are a lot more understanding because they're like, you know what, actually, if that makes you happy, good for you, you know?
And also they've got role models like yourself as well to kind of look at and understand, so it really does help.
Yeah, and because I would say I was the guinea pig, like in the family, so it's just like obviously all the cousins, they're like looking at me, seeing the mistakes I've made, or you know, how long it took me, because I'm sure if I didn't have that pressure, if I didn't have the problems that I had, I probably would have done hair and makeup from the beginning. I would have finished college, went into that, did prosthetics, might have even been working in Hollywood somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I know I would have, but it's just, you know, I had to start really late because I just didn't have that support system. Whereas with my cousins now, they're like early 20s and they're doing what they want to do, and it's amazing to see that they can.
How does that
whereas
make you feel, man? That you played a part in that?
Well, like proud. It's amazing that, you know, and it's nice that my cousins see it as well. Like, they'll tell me that, you know what, because of you, my dad let me do this. You know, that kind of thing, because they'll use me as a reference all the time.
Do you ever get called round to people's houses to give parents like speeches?
Oh yeah.
You
Not now anymore.
That would do really well in the Asian scene. Another question is that on Christmas or during Christmas and birthdays, you treat yourself to Big Macs.
Honestly speaking, Big Macs are everything. Like, I only eat it twice a year for my birthday and Christmas, but give me a Big Mac.
I just want to clear this.
Twice a year.
Twice a year. All right, cool. So that's on your birthday and on Christmas.
Yeah.
So while everyone's at home having Christmas turkey, you're at McDonald's drive-thru asking for a Big Mac.
Because my whole family are Hindu, so nobody celebrates Christmas but me.
Right.
I'm the only Christian in my family, so so I literally do the
I'm rolling
drive-through.
Yeah.
But I've been a pescatarian for nearly a year now, so I've actually not been eating a Big Mac.
So it's filet-o-fish.
I could, but no. At McDonald's, it was just the Big Mac. The Big Mac is the one.
So when did the Big Mac thing stop?
It stopped last year.
It stopped like 2000 and...
So, no, 2016 December, Christmas.
Oh, that must have been sad, man.
I was,
when you had your last Big Mac, did you know this was the last one?
No, I didn't actually. I wish I did, because I would have eaten so many.
You would have just
it wouldn't have been that one.
You're getting married.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You are a Christian, however, is that right?
Yes.
And you're having a Hindu wedding.
Yeah.
Incongruence. How is that? How are you processing that? Is that hard to deal with, or?
No, not at all. Like, I was basically I was born a Hindu, so I grew up Hindu, and I know all the Hindu traditions, whatever and stuff. And again, during the time that I was going through depression, it was my choice of wanting to convert, and religion actually really, really helped me become a better person and feel better about myself and whatever. So that was a personal decision, and it's not something that I go and, you know, I don't knock on people's doors and tell them to convert or anything. No, I don't preach.
I'd shut the door.
And I don't.
They come to my house, man.
Where do you live again? No, I'm joking.
You wouldn't survive there.
No. Imagine your neighbours all beating you up, man. No, I'm joking.
They would be. They definitely.
But then they might join me there, because they'll probably be all Christian as well. No, but yeah. So I think for me, that's why the whole decision of doing a Hindu wedding, because my husband, he practices it, and he's quite religious, and I think it meant a lot for him. Whereas for me, I never really dreamt of getting married in a church or anything, so that's why it didn't really bother me. The only thing that I'm fussy about are the rituals, and I know in Hinduism they do have a lot of rituals, and you have to do this and you have to do that. So those are the things that I discussed with his family, and I said, okay, can we cut out on this? Can we cut out on that? And I had to compromise.
The process.
Yeah, I think the actual ceremony is going to be the way it is, but you know, they do the stuff before, the stuff after, and those are the things that I'm not doing. So, and they completely respected that, and we compromised, and yeah, it was fine. So it's fine for me.
It's excellent. You are a shining light, man, in this day and age. You know what I mean? You're doing your own things quite unapologetically, and that's very admirable. You're inspiring people to do it as well, and you're just challenging status quos to an extent and remixing them. I'm inspired by your hustle. I wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Much. And I wish you all the best as well.
Cheers, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It was fun.
We can touch hands, that's all right?
Yeah. Yeah, just on the face.
I didn't touch her face, man. I've got way too much respect for that. But I did make her play this. This game is called, well, I've named it Verbal Diarrhea. I don't know if we can use that, but it's called that. These are the rules of the game, right? For example, if I say fruits, you're going to say a fruit, I'm going to say a fruit. We're going to go back and forth as quick as we can, naming different fruits. Whoever says the same fruit twice loses, or whoever hesitates for too long
I'm going to lose already.
loses. All right, but the topic is in your domain. So it's anything to do with beauty.
Yes!
And we're going to go back and forth.
That's bad though. If I lose,
all right, are you ready?
I'm looking so bad in this interview.
All right. And he's going to jump. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Lipstick, eyeshadow, gloss, mascara, toothpaste. Yeah, you've got to have good teeth to be beautiful. Breast enhancements. Toothpick. Pectoral muscles. Good hair. Good hair. Pectoral muscles is quite a beautiful thing. Aaron, you've got good pecs. Come on. Anyway, okay,
Bobby Brown. He's a singer.
Yeah, it's a makeup. It's a makeup thing. Oh, Armani perfume.
No, I'm joking.
Wait, Armani perfume?
That was the first thing I said, Armani. It's the first word I said.
Well, congratulations. Well, congratulations, you win. Thank you very much for watching episode 1 of Being Brown. You can check out more Vithya stuff over there by hitting that video on the right. You can subscribe to us, as in Thamarai, bang in the middle by hitting the lotus, or you can check out my stuff, Reuben, that's who I am, and my stuff's there on the left. And finally, before we go, a massive shout out to our sponsors, Pam Ban Cafe down in Camden Market. I reckon you should go down there and sip a latte and tell them we sent you. It's all love. Stay being brown. Peace.